Have you ever been in a relationship where you naturally started to assess your happiness with it? This could be a romantic relationship, a friend, or even an employer. Where did that questioning lead you? Did you take action and regret the decision afterwards? Did you choose not to act? Did you assess your relationship successfully and choose the healthiest option? Social exchange theory helps a person navigate through the process of assessing one's relationship. This presentation is about social exchange theory as it applies to the movie Long Shot, written and presented by Chandra Fleck. Social exchange theory is the interpersonal communications theory that compares relationships to economical exchanges. It can be used as a tool to apply one's relationships to assess if what they put into the relationship is worth what they get out of it. As the theory observes the mechanics of the relationship, its goal is to predict people's behavior, more specifically, whether they choose to continue or terminate a relationship. This means it uses an empirical approach to understanding. The theory was developed by John Thiebaud and Harold H. Kelly. Both were professors of psychology and maintained their relationship from 1953 to 1986. They began their work together, writing a chapter on group problem solving over the years developed the social exchange theory. Kelly once referred to their work as a stable focus on phenomenon at the group level, hitting upon the comprehensive and systematic theory, the elements of which others might regard as mundane, but the combinatorial nature of which brings order to numerous interpersonal and intergroup phenomenon. The Long Shot is a romantic comedy that deals with current issues like gender roles being reversed and corruption that exists within politics. However, we will be reviewing the more lighthearted topic of how two individuals interact in a relationship. Our leading couple has a unique dynamic. Charlotte Field and U.S. Secretary of State. Charlotte Field is the U.S. Secretary of State. She is ambitious, successful, and has an opportunity to run for president. Fred Flarsky is a journalist who's between jobs because of his refusal to work for a corrupt employer. He's funny, smart, but your typical mess of a bachelor. Fred and Charlotte knew each other when they were children and reconnect when Charlotte is in need of a speechwriter. Their bond grows throughout the movie and they find themselves at a crossroads. Charlotte is approaching the date she plans to announce her campaign, and it's clear that Fred is not White House material. They have a discussion in Fred's bachelor pad about their feelings for each other and what their future would look like should they continue their relationship. The theory uses the term costs and rewards to illustrate the negative and positives of a relationship. In the beginning of the movie, Fred writes speeches for Charlotte, so Charlotte takes him on an all-expense-paid international tour as Charlotte builds her platform for her campaign. Fred reminds Charlotte of her roots and what she stands for, so Charlotte invites a sexual relationship. Charlotte makes Fred feel valued, so he invites an emotional bond. These are examples of costs and rewards of the relationship so far. To depict the environment and perceptions of the individuals in the relationship, we use the given matrix and the effective matrix. The given matrix is what we're given to work with, and the effective matrix is where we can have an effect on our given matrix. The movie takes a turn when the couple is forced to discuss their future because Charlotte is being blackmailed with a video of Fred masturbating and accidentally finishing on his own face. Charlotte is now in the position where if she chooses to continue to publicly date Fred, it will damage her public perception and potentially cost her the race. This is Charlotte's given matrix. Fred offers to suffer the public humiliation of the video being released in order to continue their relationship. However, Charlotte's concern is not for Fred. Unfortunately, Fred's humiliation is not part of Charlotte's effective matrix. Charlotte offers to date Fred out of the public eye, which would mean they could never be seen together. Fred evaluates what the relationship would look like if he were to agree to be unseen and decides his pride is too high of a cost for the rewards he would get out of that type of relationship. The outcome, he chooses to terminate the relationship. Fear not, though. As Charlotte announces her campaign, she spills the beans about the blackmail. This is a signal to Fred that she is willing to incur the cost to her public perception in order to have a public relationship with Fred. Charlotte wins her campaign, and Fred becomes the first Mr. President, husband to the president. There was a specific scene where their communication really broke down. Fred finds out Charlotte is agreeing to make a compromise on the platform she is using to launch her campaign. This is frustrating for Fred because he explicitly told Charlotte that he wasn't there to watch her compromise to the point of corruption. In Fred's eyes, the cost of compromise is corruption. Charlotte feels this compromise will reward her by allowing her to become president, where she will be able to have a bigger impact. To have a better communication, it would be beneficial for Charlotte to explain to Fred that the cost of not compromising would be giving up on her current dream of being president, and therefore reduce her ability to make a difference. Fred could also have explained that by compromising, she is giving up on her dream from her childhood, which was to make a difference, and that she could still make a difference if she wasn't president. Of course, this conversation never progresses as they are distracted by the Northern Lights in the movie. By using the movie Longshot to illustrate the constant back and forth of sacrifice and return that occurs in every relationship, we can see how the decision to continue or terminate a relationship shouldn't be a hard one. Luckily, in Hollywood, we're able to ensure the couple's lives lives happily ever after. However, in real life, we are responsible to make our own happiness happen. This theory can be used as a tool to make sure we're making the right decision when faced with that doubt.